of the Diwane Am, how it looked like from the corridors, the shaded corridors all around. If you see here, all around there are corridors where, and inside there is a courtyard, so the people could sit there in the corridors also. This is a view from the corridor, and you see the Diwane Am over here. Now let's move on to the next building, which is the Diwane Khas. Now this building is where Emperor Akbar had his council of ministers meet, and it has a very unique kind of interior. I'll show you. First, let's see the exterior first. A very modest building, again 2 stories high with chhatris showing. It's a very plain kind of building, except for the chhatris and the cantilevers over the openings you see, and some brackets. Now the interesting part is, now it's just adjoining the Diwane Am, we have the Diwane Khas. The interesting thing within this building is the interior. Again a view of the Diwane Khas, or the hall of private audience, is situated in the northeast corner and with a huge and richly carved pillar in the center. That is what I want to tell you now, that inside this building in the middle there is a pillar which is intricately carved, and on top of this pillar, which is 1 stories high, the emperor used to sit himself, and the council of ministers used to sit on the corners. I'll just show you the next slide. The central platform attached to the pillar was the seat of the emperor, while the diagonal galleries are believed to be the seat of ministers and nobles that were entertained here. These are some architectural drawings, sections, plan, elevation, and here this is the first floor plan. This is the pillar we are talking of in plan, where the king used to sit and his ministers used to sit at diagonal. Yeah, here it is. This is the central pillar. This is the central pillar in plan over here. This is the central pillar. On the left side you can see in the plan, and this is how it looks. This is the place where, look at the ornamentation and the carving, and there is a small railing kind of affair you can see, more noticeable on the, in the visual on the right side. It is famous for its, Diwane Khas is famous for its central pillar, which has a square base and an octagonal shaft, both carved with bands of geometric and floral designs. Further, its 36 serpentine brackets, there are 36 serpentine brackets, support a circular platform for the king, which is connected to each corner of the building on the first floor by 4 stone walkways. These are the walkways we are talking of. Now, this is his Diwane Khas. This is the way he used. There must be a lot of cushions and carpeting, of course, lot of drapery, and from the inside. At this stage now, since not in use, this is how it looks. So the king used to sit here in this central position on the column and used to decide. So these are some details of the brackets supporting the outer balconies of the Diwane Khas. Again, just like we have in the central pillar, similar sort of architecture. And now let's move on to the next building, which is the Panch Mahal. Now Panch Mahal, as it suggests, the name Panch means 5. So there are 5 stories in this building. You can notice in the sketch 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So at that time there was no electricity in 1600 AD. The kings used to desire, either the attendants used to have hand fans and keep the place cool, but Akbar got a building built of this nature, which was a little bit higher than the others, so that he could recline, he could rest in the evenings and catch the breeze. There was a pool in front of it, so that it used to bring cool breeze. Agra and Fatehpur Sikri being hot in summers. This is the building we are talking of, the Panch Mahal, which is a 5-story palace in Fatehpur Sikri. It has no other function except that to sit and relax, possibly in the evenings only, because in daytime the whole palace complex is busy in certain tasks. So late in the evenings or early in the night, this is the place he used to sit and relax on the topmost floor, possibly to get a good amount of breeze. So this is also a landmark building in the sense that It's the only building which is so high. Otherwise, most of the buildings in the palace complex are just 2 stories. You notice the Diwan-e-Aam, which was single story, Diwan-e-Khas was 2 storied. We will see some other buildings, Jodhabai's palace, we will see Birbal's house, they are all not more than 2 stories high. But this one exclusive building, the Panch Mahal, this is now 5 stories. This is where it is happening on the plan. So now I think I'll keep on reminding you, this is the Diwan-e-Aam on the left side, and on the top we have the Diwan-e-Khas, and here we are now talking of the Panch Mahal. It's colored, and you can notice in the purple color, that's the that's the Panch Mahal. Now, being a 5-story structure, it tiers gradually, because there are tiers, means stories. Now, at that time, the technology was not very much enhanced to build 5 or 6 story building, although they have the Buland Darwaza, it has a single story, and they try to recede them, so that not too much load comes. So that is one of the principles they followed, which it has a single large dome chhatri on the 5th floor. Originally, pierced stone screens face the facade and probably subdivided the interior as well, suggesting it was built for ladies of the court. So it was a entertainment building or a leisure building for sure. It was not for any other function. The floors are supported by intricately carved columns on each level, and there are a total of 176 columns in this Panch Mahal. These are some of the details. You can notice the ornamentation, which is consistent with the other buildings too. But here, one thing which is remarkable is that there are double columns. Try to notice, and different idiom has been followed. All the columns are double. This is the view of the Panch Mahal from the back side, and of course, the palace had different divisions. Now, on the left side of this snap is the private zone, you can presume, the quarters, his mother's place, which is Miriam's house, and the Queen's house, Jodhabai's house. Now, let's move on to Queen Jodhabai's house. Jodhabai, as you know, was one of his beloved queens. Akbar had a huge harem. It said that he had 350 wives. But Jodhabai was a Hindu queen whom he married, and who became his favorite queen. So there is a complete house which is dedicated to Jodhabai in this Fatehpur Sikri complex. This is a view of the house. We call it a palace, whatever. Jodhabai's palace is the largest and the most important of the imperial harem, having all facilities, provisions and safeguards. The palace building consists of a rectangular block measuring about 200 feet by 215 feet in dimension, with a single magnificent gateway on eastern side, which was protected by guard rooms. So since Jodhabai was his favorite queen, so he had an elaborate security system and guard houses, and since she was Hindu, the architecture of this palace or Jodhabai's house is very distinct. It has Hindu elements. This is the place in the entire scheme where this house is located. You can notice that this house has a quadrangle of its own, a courtyard of its own, and on the 4 sides, on the 4 corners, you have chhatris, and this is one of a very huge kind of structures in expanse, 200 feet by 200 feet, exclusively for the queen. Compare this with the Diwan-e-Aam, Diwan-e-Khas, the Panch Mahal, and look at this house. It's huge in size. This is the entrance, well guarded, no one can go there, and there are jharunkas on the top, you can see, and some chhatris which are very prominent architectural element in Fatehpur Sikri. All the buildings have chhatris, and this is the interior. This is the plan of the Jodhabai's palace. So this is of course the entrance from here, and then there is an open courtyard, and then there are series of rooms and some corridors, some bathing spaces, some sleeping spaces, some recreational spaces. So this queen has an entire huge house to herself. That's how it was. There is another view of from the courtyard. The superstructure comprises of chhatris, charpakats with 8 pillars, semicircular domes, triangular khapral roofs. The corner domes and khapral roofs bears traces of arabesque designs in glazed tiles. So just try to notice that the chhatris here are also a little bit different in style, that they have a tapered roof, just like in Hindu architecture. Several Hindu motifs have been used in the building, which confirms that the occupant of the building was a Hindu lady. It's still visible. You can visit Fatehpur Sikri with your teachers sometime. It's one of the remarkable buildings, and I must impress upon the teachers to take a short tour there for a day or two. It's very interesting for the students to see it actually. The motifs like parrots, elephants, the Hindu elements, they are all there. The coronated the lawn contains curvilinear square pillars with beautiful molding, extremely graceful brackets. So this is a view of one of the rooms and the corridors. Of course, at the time when the queen used to stay here, it must be richly furnished also. And again a view of the western side, which serves as a temple also. So the queen, when she married Akbar, she had a demand that she'll have a place of worship to herself. Let's talk of one or two more buildings before we conclude. We have one of his favorite and very trusted generals, Birbal. Now Birbal also has a house in this complex at Fatehpur Sikri. This is the house. It consists of 4 square rooms, each measuring about 16 or 17 feet square, all interconnected through open doorways and 2 oblong entrance porches on northwest and southwest. While all the 4 rooms have flat ceilings, the porches have triangular chapral ceiling with pyramidal roofs. So Birbal also was a Hindu general, and this is the place where he has his own house, just next to Jodhabai's palace, and we will see the architecture of this. This is the plan of Birbal's house: 4 rooms, open doorways, and then approachable on 2 sides, from here and from here. And this is the architecture which resulted subsequently. This is a photograph of Birbal's house. So the entrances you can see are from here, and at the back over here. The 4 rooms, it's a double-storied structure again. Notable features of the building are horizontal sloping sunshade or chhajjas and the brackets which support them. So the chhajjas, of course, you must have noticed by now, are also very, very prominent in all the buildings of Fatehpur Sikri. This is the interior of Birbal's house or Birbal's palace, whatever you may call it. The interior view of the niches and the decorative elements are noticeable. There is one minor building, Hiran Minar. It's located in the open plains and it is about 21 meters high, and got its name after Jahangir converted the polo ground around the tower into sanctuary for hirans or antelopes. This is the building we are talking of over here. It's one of the prominent buildings which is visible when you visit this complex. So it has been included in today's presentation. This is the Hiran Minar. Although it's away from the complex, but still it is an important building. It's pretty high. So it's a octagonal tower, and it's more to do with the landscape and as an element of, it's a landmark. The tower is centered around a flat top door and so on. This is the tower is decorated with an alternate row of 6 pointed star and hexagons. Numerous elephant tusks are protruding from the center of each star and hexagon. Now these have been replaced by stone tusks. So probably the intention was to showcase their hunting abilities, I believe. It is believed that real elephant tusks symbolize the novelty and grandeur of Mughal Empire. That's mentioned here. Okay, some of the other structures here, there is the Akbar's Khwabgah where he used to sleep. Of course, they must be highly furnished at that time. Right now you can just notice some stone slab where he would have slept. And this is the Khwabgah we are talking of, and in front of it there is a pool which is called the Anup Talab. So this is the kind of and this one of course you must recognize by now is the Panch Mahal we are talking of, and that's the Anup Talab. Panch Mahal being here, so it's visible across. Miriam's house is where his mother stayed. It's again over here, and we will try to sum up. I think we all have a fair idea of Fatehpur Sikri now. Thank you for joining me.